Yeah. Um. So yeah, today we're continuing on implementing dungeon interactable objects, which is basically treasure chests and traps. I made a very basic treasure chest in what, about 15 minutes or so. So yeah, I'm interacting. So yeah, we were working on the dungeon stairs now. So originally the dungeon stairs markers would have been to things that be positioned within the dungeon. Now we're just going to make them so that they're integrated within the dungeon interactables component. First we'll drag this thing onto here. Also, this stairs marker, probably going to keep this, if only to you keep this if only to make sure that the wait, what am I talking about? No, it handles the visuals, I think. Yeah, handles its transform and its animations with this up marker here going boing 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 boing, and yeah. So this dungeon, script. This is upstairs is probably going to need to be something a bit more sophisticated than the bog standard default property you get when you get private set in C#. So upstairs, and once again my inability to spell gets me. Also, there might be a bit of a problem because this currently how we spawn new interactables is we just get a public dungeons, and this just what it does is that it returns an empty node. Well, empty except for the script that you put on top of it. However, we do want the interactables to be displayed within the dungeon, so it's probably going to be a case where make probably a static class get or spawn, and then it would create everything beneath it. So something like this. So the dungeon tile object is a shrine, a trap, or a upstairs, downstairs, or a chest. I think the traps should be shown. I think. Yeah, if you detect them, then it should show them not only on the map, but also on the thing. Even if it's just like a bog standard pressure plate that pops out the thing. Yeah. So we add something like protected abstract void spawn child. Nodes. Something like that. And then what it would do is that it would instantiate the scene. So in this case, the dungeon stairs marker, this won't be a thing. It'll just be this stairs marker scene, which is quite handily already made. It will just spawn that underneath the dungeon tile object node. So this should be a node 3D. Yes. So this unsaved, yeah, don't save it. Don't need it. The treasure chest as well. All we need to do is remove that script because the script will be in what would be the parent node. So we'll leave that, and this is just the spatial handling it. Maybe we could plonk another script in here saying that handles the animations, or we might just do that, you know, directly within the treasure chest script because, you know, it's there. Might as well use it. You know, might as well use it and not create yet another bloody class. Right, don't need this. Might need that. Don't need this. Might need that. Don't need the BGM manager, and we don't need this battle scene or the cutscene renderer, come to think of it. So I think we will go with the stairs first. So where's the blooming stairs marker scene? Right here. We move that into our, not the tiles, I'm being a dumbass, interactables folder. This dungeon, no, bollocks, I moved the wrong thing to the interactables folder. I'm going to get this eventually. There we go. Stairs marker into interactables. Right. I'm going to copy this UID and then private const string child UID equals boop 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 boop. Implement this abstract class, which is the spawn child node, and then scene equals resource loader packed scene. Loader, where are you? Dot load of type packed scene. This will be child UID. Probably should rename it to child scene UID dot instantiate. And actually, you know what? I can just plonk it here. Easy as you like. So child scene capitals, because it's a constant. Right, and then we can go into the code I wrote ages ago for the stairs marker, this thing. Yes. Upstairs texture, downstairs texture. Sure, and then... Oh yeah. No wait, this is the scene that we're loading, so these have been set. That's fine. So in that case, I might want to change this, but it might be the case that the upstairs icon will probably be different from the thing on the whatever you call it, or it might actually change it to a 3D model. But then if you want the guys to go on the space, then yeah, it's a bit silly. It might be the case that we put the stairs in either a 1x1 room or on the edge. So, and there are 1x1 rooms, so it might just be the case that instead of a 1x1 room, just have it as a blank solid rock space. And if there isn't in that, then you can just, yeah, something like that. Still need to work out how the chunks will bleed into each other, like say in a Minecraft world, but I think I'm getting ahead of myself a bit. So this is fine as is. However, the is upstairs private set is upstairs, and it would be something like stairs marker dot is up stairs equals value, and that'll well, first of all I need to do this private stairs marker and this will be get node of type stairs marker. It's like one of them memes. Oh. I should probably screenshot that and put it on some sort of Godot memes subreddit. Whatever. Gonna have one of those demotivational posters. The fuck? What did I put? I'm being an idiot. I put is upstairs on here, but yeah, I'm just gonna refactor all this just for the sake of consistency. Like so. Upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs, transforming party phase. I think that's it. Right. So that's fine. Then rename this to is upstairs. I think I originally made it downstairs because it increments the dungeon level by 1 because the dungeons go down, obviously. But I've already made everything with upstairs and the other things, so yeah, might as well make it. Might as well change the one thing instead of changing 3, I suppose. And then finally, upstairs equals value. In which case, I can probably just make this as sort of a what do they call it, a proxy for this property, but so first of all, if we make a new one, if we make the new node and then that instantiate and then add the child and then the does the node get instantiate in the constructor? So will they be able to do this? I'm not entirely sure. Oh well, we'll know soon enough. Right, these 2 markers need to be chucked. Just for the time being. Well, actually, yeah, we are chucking them. Stairs, mom. So these need to go. Player party dot pie rotated. Okay, fine. So, in which case, combat, instance, player party rotated. The fuck? Player exploration party. Fuck. Of course, this is gonna. Yeah, this is going to be a private member of the thing that I can't get at, so... Yeah, it's this. We need a way of getting it at the... Oh, I don't know. Maybe we just expose party facing. No. Nah, well, we'll just leave them as is. I'm aiming to change that bouncing stairs marker into an actual 3D object anyway, so the more out of place it looks, the better, because then I'll be more motivated to... The more motivated I will be to get rid of it. Or, yeah, actually, yeah. Right, where's this other marker? These are all comments, don't need that. These are out. Yeah, that's it. Right. Then these can go. That's fine. So now the test is that we actually show the stairs on the game screen as well as the minimap. I don't think it's going to work. No, it won't, because the spawn child nose doesn't work either. It doesn't even build. And yeah, these are all bollocked as well. Depth level is always going to be positive, so have it as a uint. That's fine. Party.add items. There is a way to no. It's there's got to be a way to marry the player inventory. The player inventory is an auto load. I checked that before the stream. So this add items, it's supposed to add the item array loot into here. And then true will be check for any upgrades. So let's say if I know you get an iron sword, one of you guys has an iron sword and chest gives a steel sword, it would say, okay, you found a steel sword, it's an upgrade for these characters, choose which one gets it. That sort of thing. The thing is, though, the player inventory was designed for a classic dungeon crawler, not a roguelike. So the player's party and equipment, as well as the player's inventory, are two separate things. Although the player's inventory is an auto load, so that's kind of a moot point to begin with. Yeah. I'm kind of also... if I do make a sequel to this, which probably, you know, we're sort of thinking way far forward. Well, whatever. Yeah, like I said, I'm being a bit too screwy with my things. I don't know. Thinking way too far ahead. That's what I was trying to say. Generate the method there. Void, add items, item loot, bool. Check for improvements. So for an equipment item, there's got to be a way of calculating its DPS or effective HP or something like that. And then I also need to make a panel saying, oh, so you get to this one. Actually, I think it might be a better way of saying, okay, you get a sword or, I don't know, an axe or maybe 2 items. Anything that isn't equipment goes straight to the bag. However, if you do get equipment, it will show the party members, and then it would glow if it's the same class of item, same class of weapon, same class of armor or whatever, but it's an upgrade. In that case, it's just a case of getting all of its stats and checking if it's Pareto dominated. That's fairly easy, fairly simple to implement. He said, tempting fate. So the add items, yeah, we want to make sure that the actual interactables are spawned beforehand, so we'll leave this as a not implemented exception. Might also put in to do adding item to party inventory. So this is going to be a roguelite, so it might be prudent to have 2 inventories, one for the current run and one for permanence, rather than just having the 2 mishmashed. And or I could just set items to are they cleared on run or not, run end or not. There's a million different ways to skin a cat, I suppose. Right, pit trap. Yeah, not implemented exception. We'll just make stuff so that it runs, just so that it builds, and we're not too worried about that. It might actually be that spawn shroud nodes might actually be a virtual, so something. No. What if protected string child node UID, and that's a get, and that would make it so we override that, so the child node goes in, and then instead of making spawn child nodes be abstract, we instead make it virtual. And now I'm overthinking things. Just make sure that it spawn child nodes, and it might be the case that we don't need any child nodes spawned. So yeah, we'll just leave that as is. Yeah, I'll see if it works with stairs marker. If it works with stairs marker, then we'll not these dungeon stairs. We'll probably pull this constructor up so to the dungeon tile objects, go from there. Spawn child nodes is again dispel trap. It's probably not going to do anything, so that's fine. We'll just probably make a sort of node that gives you sort of a woo effect. Yeah, if you want to convert to image to an image, then that's fine. That might be another thing. Generative AI, you make a bloody, you record a silly noise into the microphone, and it comes up with an image. That's dumb. That's ridiculous. Although that brain interface that Gabe Newell's the co-founder of. Imagine if you could get a mental image and then it just generates it accordingly. That'd be fucking sick. And it would also, well, I suppose it'll, I mean, it's not, it will, it'll actually put artists out of a job, maybe. I know that they are crying wolf quite a bit about current generative AI, but I mean, I've used it, and there are quite a few minor details that you want to put in, you want to, have a professional do. But yeah, they say that AI is going to take all jobs. Nah, it's brain interfacing. That's the real problem. Well, I say problem, more of a... What do the twats in marketing say? Disruptor. Sorry, I need to pinch my hands and talk like a bloody gap year twat. Say that. Come on. Why is it like this? Right. Cannot open file scenes, dungeon top. What the fuck? I renamed them! I fucking renamed them! See, this is why you need UIDs. This is why you should use UIDs. To avoid this shit. Honestly. Top prefab dot instantiate inside, but we don't have a... No, wait. That's fine. I might clip that, actually. Where's the bloody clip? Clip for the past 30 seconds of. Why can't I add a fucking stream marker? Oh, piss off. Twitch. Ah, well, that clip match will... If the clip comes with a timestamp, I could probably just go a bit before it and then go based on that. I thought I... Oh. Also, the minimaps thing. See, this thing right here, this room right here would be perfect for putting the stairs in. Because look, it's a 1x1 room, and normally these sorts of things are just, dead ends. They're just nothing. And if I instead made it like sort of a blank thing, it would also give that bit of threat. So if you go into here and you haven't mapped this out, you can say, oh, this might be solid rock. I best not, go into there. Otherwise, run over. Right. Well, we do have errors to be fixing. Unexpected or unimplemented object ID pit trap. Of course. I'm being a goober again. And didn't even check if the bloody stairs had chucked in. Return new pit trap. And it's dart and dispel, I believe. Return new dart trap. Return new dispel trap. Let's see. Web trap, sleep trap, explosion trap, falling rock trap. Okay. Unexpected or implemented object ID. Okay. Actually, we just get rid of all these. There's no need for that. Also, there's something that I've forgotten. Shoot trap. And all this does is take you to the lower level. So, in which case, there's also a need to make sure that this does not lead into solid rock. Or rather, if it does lead into solid rock, just move the party in a random direction until it does. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So that's fine. So yeah, this is in the blue. Oh, yeah. Void dungeon on depth changing spawn tile objects. Which is where? Okay, so this is where the stairs get spawned in. So the dungeon tile will also need an on-space enter. That if it is a trap, it gets triggered. Fuck. Hang on, I go into the other thing and then it displays properly. Okay, so this goes in fine, but the upstairs is in the wrong spot. Fine, wearing over. It's just more. What's the word? This should not be expandable in combat. I'm gonna have to write that down. Stick it on the Trello board. Ugh, that is if I had a Trello board. Right. What's also a bit off-putting is that there doesn't seem to be any treasure being spawned. I put this at 20, so that means every 5 squares or so you're going to have a treasure chest. Yeah. And then probably make it so that if there aren't enough treasure chests, you know, in the dungeon, then just spawn them randomly just to make sure that there's a minimum amount of treasure to be found. Okay, it doesn't look like the treasure chest is spawning properly. That's fine. Yes. Dungeon treasure chest is blah blah blah, of course. But then oh yeah, of course, the default constructor. which doesn't go here, but rather between properties and methods, public, dungeon treasure chest. Also, the treasure chests are just there. They don't. They don't. No. Wait a minute, something's wrong. The treasure chests should not be spawned in the biome because they're temporary. Everything else, the traps, the shrines, those are permanent. However, the chests, when you open one, it should go away to make room for more to be spawned in. So there's two classes of treasure, two classes of interactables, ones that are permanent, ones that aren't. So those need to be in the class. Okay. Private const string treasure chest scene UID. I'm not going to make these separate for each biome. That'd just be overkill. I mean, it's doable, but this copy UID. Treasure scene UID, blah 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 blah, and then finally resource loader. Dot load packed scene. And that would be treasure scene UID dot instantiate add child. Wait, no, we've proven that this is fine, this constructor. So instead of putting this in all the subclasses, I'm just going to pull it up to the dungeon tile object. Public dungeon tile object. Spawn child nodes. Then go into all of these classes. Dungeon interactable. Wait. Let me look something up. C# default C#. Inherited constructor. How it works. Blah 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 blah. Tight coupling. Blah blah blah. Don't care. Tight coupling between the base class and the derived class. They're supposed to be fucking. Oh god. Yeah, difficult to modify the base class without affecting the derived class. That's the whole fucking point of inheritance. Anyways, I'm going off topic. Car, which goes on vehicle, public car, and stream on goes base speed. Oh, jeez. Why do I have Geeks and Game? Oh no, wait. That's not Geeks and Games, that's Geeks for Geeks. It's got some auto-playing bloody video. Yeah. You'd think uBlock would have got that, but no. Does the default constructor inherit? Inheritance and default constructors. Here we go. Class B derived from A, never inherited by Class B. When all new objects of the blur fail to compile, public B base. You don't specify a constructor at all. It'll be implicit. Someone to call something leads to compiler error of that. Blah 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 blah. Don't care. This term, base term. Blah 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 blah. That's fine. Okay. So this is. So this. This is in effect yeah, this is in effect added by the compiler, so there's no need to include it specifically. Now, if I wanted to call a constructor with a parameter, then yeah, you would need to put it in. But if it's a default parameterless constructor, no need. It will call this to spawn child nodes by itself, I think. Let me check it though, because I have been wrong a fair few times. Oh, we're in this other, which means that we've hit an error. Just faff about, wait for this debugger to catch up with the compiler. Right, what have we got? Pit trap. Oh, right. Yeah. I kind of knew this would have happened. gd.print. Well, at least it does. We do know it calls the spawn child nodes to do spawn child nodes for pit trap. Probably I'd make this spawn child node singular, but that's very minor. Actually, you know what? Because I'm extremely lazy, I'm just going to do this. So those are the 3 types of traps I've put in. Yes. And then the treasure chests and then the other things. Right. Now let's try it. So we know this spawns. Oh yeah, here are our treasure chests. They look like shit. Also, you can't view them properly because they're too small, and yeah. This little cut in here, that's because of this. This is a fair bit off the ground. These, however, I still need to work out lighting, unfortunately. So yeah, not great. I might actually introduce a sort of way of positioning them so that they don't face the wall. But that's probably something for a later time. So yeah, these dungeon... Oh no, the stairs will be dungeon interactables. And they'll be probably generated after the thing, after the done after the actual, space has been generated, because there's so many 1x1 rooms here. You've got one here, 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 yeah, all over the bloody place is what I'm saying. And yeah. So instead of, the one problem though is handling the case where by some miracle the dungeon generation doesn't generate any 1x1 rooms, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is possible, but I think it's just unlikely. But people have won the lottery. If nobody won the lottery, they wouldn't be holding it. So, yeah. Sorry, if nobody won the lottery, nobody would be playing it. I mean, the government will just take your money. If they're given an opportunity to take your money, they'll have it, is what I'm trying to say. Right. So the things actually spawn. So actually what we can do is change this probability back down to 2 so there aren't so many. I might actually change the treasures to have sort of an emissive property because, I don't know. Ah, lighting's the right bitch and a half, isn't it? Yeah, it's probably one of those things I need to find a book on. I've actually found a book on pixel art, but unfortunately it's from 2016 and it still thinks the actual software, the main software that it recommends, the site gives a 4. The site just isn't there. It doesn't even give a 404. The site itself is just gone. So I might have to find something difficult, but they do let you use a sprite. So yeah, I'll probably just go with that. Or probably the link's just dead. Probably the link's changed and it's just on a different domain. Yeah. Okay. Object type ID, dungeon floor, blah 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 blah, dungeon biome, chest loot, human depth level. That's fine. So right, I'm gonna have a crossroads. Well, not exactly a crossroads, but sort of a multiple paths list like the MSQ in a FF14 expansion. You can go this way, you can do this way, or you can do them in any order. Right. Spawn child nodes interact with, and then the party, but then the party would have to go somewhere else, and then temporary run inventory. Yeah, we'll do that. It saves us having to code something into the item saying, oh, get rid of this on the run. Instead, it'll just be, if it's of this type, then chuck it in the permanent. I haven't even implemented currency yet. I don't think I actually will, to be quite honest with you. So this player inventory class, this is an auto load. Generate example inventory, get example items, which is all of this rubbish. Yeah. So it has a dictionary of strings and then a byte, so you can have a maximum of 255 of each one item. The, I don't know, string byte. This string will probably be changed with UIDs as opposed to paths. Just, keeps file sizes down. Right. Equipped item total. Equipment items. I items, keys, where resource loader exits path, equipment item dot select path, resource loader load equipment item path. Oh no, these are the equipment items, not the all of them. I'm going to make another script, which I probably actually no, I'm gonna go into Visual Paradigm and sort this out. I think item systems are a thing, but yeah. Here we go. Right, so this is the inventory. Is it equipped? Yeah. Right. So currently this is items, but we don't have a way of... we don't have inventory. So what I'm going to do is something like player inventory, which is going to be the permanent one. And then I'm going to add something else called temporary player inventory. Because this is an auto load, I don't think this is going to work, because in essence you'll be creating two of them, I think. Or rather, yes, this is an instance. Can you do this? Cannot be sealed because it is not an override. Fair enough. So yeah, I'm probably instead going to make something like this. Player inventory base. And then inventory. So this will be the permanent one. So this is the permanent player inventory, and then a temporary player inventory, and then this permanent inventory. This will be where the auto load is. Something like this. So get item count string, no, new ID, which is a string, and this will return an item. Well, no. This will return an item, however, count int. Can you do that? Yes, you can in BP. And then the temporary player inventory would have an operation like clear. And then this will have your instances. So something like this. Aggregation. No. The there. I always get the things mixed up. So instead, combat2.godot resource. Oh, it's right here. Wait, so where's the item? Okay, that's a bit silly. No. Oh, it's probably this. Of course. Yeah, I just Projects are a bit silly. So these inventories will be nodes. Okay, so just so I don't get confused later on, I'm going to rename this to items. And then, yeah, that's fine. I'm also going to because in the roguelike mode, you're going to be finding skills within the dungeon. And then if you deal a certain amount of damage or use it enough times, you'll learn the skill off by heart. And yeah, you can use it at the beginning of future runs. Just a bit. Missed. Okay. Right, I'll put this on my left monitor. You'd think with 4 screens you'd have space for everything, but that's not the case. I think I've said that multiple times already. Right. So these, I don't have a key item, but I do have a skill item for some reason. Yeah. Okay, create new script, key item. Create. This will be an item. And then skill item would be a key item. Just so you can't throw them. Wait, what am I doing? Abstract. Partial class key item. Okay. Right, now for the inventories, we need to work out which of these we can pull up to the new player inventory base. Then split that with the temporary player inventory, and then rename this to permanent player inventory. Oh dear. Create new script player inventory base. It's also completely shit weather outside, so I'm gonna put the daylight on because my mental health, my lightness. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't believe in any of that homeopathy rubbish. Okay, and then also for completeness, we're going to put in player inventory temp. Right. What am I doing? Oh yes, we're working on what I need to pull up. So the Serializable. Did I? I wrote this, didn't I? I did. Okay. Yeah. Right. Let's see. We can pull these up. Oh. There's definitely, yes, here we go. So we're going to pull up. No, not to bloody-eyed serializable. The pull them both up to inventory base. Yes, do it. Get rid of these. Right, so items we also do need to pull up. Equipped item total, maybe we won't pull that one up. So this, hang on. All members up to base type, here we go. Let's see. Oh, you can't see this window, unfortunately. Let's see, all items, equipment items, and those, not the, this equipped item total will probably for the time being be chucked into player inventory temp, maybe. Add item, yes. Example items, no. Generate example inventory, no. Get item count, yes. Has Godot class, no. Initialize party equipment, no. Remove item, yes. Set item equipped, set items to example items, set item unequipped. We don't have the items in. And then put it into player inventory base. Executing that. Right. So this generate example inventory, that needs to be, yes. Protected. If include equipped and oh yes. This is the one. Make that virtual and then put all this in and add that. I don't know. Remove item as well. Yeah, these are inner classes, aren't they? Yes, they are. So this goes up and into the base. Right, so it's just this bit now. Alright, I'm gonna put this into, I don't know. Do I put the equipments in or not? Because then you'd have two inventories and they both have equipment in, but the player party is the one with the equipment, right? So, in which case, I don't think we'll need to. So this is going to be a storage of the equipped items, yeah. So then, what? So the player inventory piece will go to there. However, the equipment is going to be... No, because the equipment would be in the player party then. But the base would keep a reference to it. In which case... Yeah, because if something's equipped, then you can't exactly equip the same thing twice, so it does need to count. It does need equipment counting. And then... And it also helps that starting equipment can mean something, so yeah, we'll pull up the equipped items as well. So... It's almost looking like it'll... Everything except the instancing is being done. Right. So yeah, it's actually looking like that. Stick it in here. And oh, deserialize and serialize are being split up. That's not what I want. We'll put that here. Serialize and deserialize are just fancy words for save and load. Yeah, so the only thing that's gonna stay in here is the generation of this example inventory and the auto load. So there's that. There's also, I'm gonna add something. Public void transfer item to player inventory base target item. Then right. If items contains the other thing. I'm gonna get coffee and think this one over. I'll move the cursor to right here so I know where I am. Oh. Okay. So this... Okay, so transferring items is easy enough. However, if they're equipment, that's when it gets a bit... how would I put this? That's when it gets a bit complicated. So, what I'm probably going to do is... if item has... Okay. So... if item... Nope. Item is equipment item. Equip. Leave that. Else. Rather, we can do the check beforehand, actually. Count equals 1. If get item count item true is less than count. Throw new item. What do I call this? Not enough item quantity exception. Fine, and then we can do the whole thing. So item dot remove. No. It'd be remove item. Item count, and we've already checked if that we have enough. Then target dot add item. Item count. Now, if it's equipment, then need this. Item total equals blah 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 blah. Okay. Bar equip. Equip and total dot has key contains key. Item dot resource path. I am going to change these to UIDs instead. Wait, no. This is silly. Item total dot try get value. Int equip count. And then if not that. Item dot resource path equipped count, then equipped count is equal to 0. Right. Also make this a byte as well. We don't want to accidentally transfer a -1 or 256 of them. Okay, equipped count equals 0, then free items equals, rather unequipped items equals right. Equals what? It would be zero unequipped count minus count. If equipment items needed is equal to 0, then just do this. Else equipped item total item dot resource path minus equals equipped items needed. Oh, and then I can just do that. Okay, in which case I can just get rid of all this.
Well, just a minute and I'll give you the story, but I'm telling you first I had to give all the money I had on me and it wasn't exactly mine.
That's a max, not a min. Then just get rid of the else. Don't need that either. Right, equipped count equals blah, 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 blah. Unequipped count equals item total minus the unequipped count. The item totals be put into here and then put them into total. And then if we don't have enough, then put them in there. Then if we do, so we've already checked that we had enough. And then if it's all of them, which will be the item total minus the equipped count. So if the equipped count is equal to the item total, that'll be 5. So this will be 0. Math dot equals equipped item means equals math dot max unequipped count, which is 0. Oh shit, it's the wrong way around. Count minus unequipped count, so count which is 5 minus 0 from 5. So we take out 5 equipped items. If the unequipped count is, say, so count is, I don't know, 3 and unequipped count is 1. So this will take 3 minus 1. So we'll need 2 equipped items, and yeah. Okay. Make it so set item equipment only works with equipment items. Yep. Because, yeah. Right. So in that case, the transfer to the target. So that, in that case, it will be a player inventory base item. Okay, so I'm not happy about it. Public enum currency. And then Bork mids. Mana. Whatever. Okay, so public int get currency amount. Currency C. And this will just if get currency, no, if currency totals dot try get value currency out int total return total else return 0. Here's another bracket. So yeah, it might actually just be Choppy does stuff. Hi, yeah, I didn't see you there. I was a bit hyper focused. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm currently working on items because I've just put in treasure chests, so it's only logical that you implement their content next. So, yeah, what we're doing is that we're splitting this one player inventory into a permanent inventory which stays between runs because roguelite, and a temporary player inventory which stays within the run. You've revived an old project of yours. Oh, have you? What genre is it, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, Resports. Open source fan game port aiming to bring a better Wii Sports experience than Switch Sports. Port the games from Wii Sports and Wii Fit series to modern devices as one big game in a modern engine like Unity or Godot to removably use Wii Sports decom and some emulators, so you have to borrow the ROM files for the games, but I don't know if you can do that in Unity. Looks like ditch using the modern and just goes your code. Yeah, I mean, you can probably tell by my reaction that that might be a bit, what's the word? Complicated. Yeah. What's stopping you from remaking the game from the ground up, if you don't mind me asking? Because I think you can probably decompile the ROMs and get the physics calculations and whatnot from there. But yeah, I mean, trying to run an emulator within Unity, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, you've probably solved that problem already, I'm guessing, given how old it is. Where are we? Player inventory base. So there's the transferring and this player inventory temp. So public void initialize for now. It uses the Wii Sports decomp. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know that existed. So it runs almost natively. Ah, okay. If I can spell initialize, that would also help. But yeah, I hope it works out. Because I know there's a bunch of mods for Wii Sports, and I think I put the homebrew channel on my physical Wii once, but that was bloody yonks ago. Still in the blooming loft. Looking for any C# assembly, Python and C++ devs to help. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately I've moved off Unity. So I'm able to be, plus I'm busy with this. But no, I think Godot has a Discord. Unity has a Discord, I think. But yeah, if you're getting stuff with redoing Wii Sports, that might draw the ire of their mods, so I'm not sure. Then this would be initialize it on here, so the items is null. Considering switching to Godot since my main doubt pal got the me stuff working in Godot. Oh, okay. Yeah. Godot's come leaps and bounds in the past 2 years. Especially with Godot 4. That quite literally was what got me to switch in the first place. Also, it released almost exactly the time, well, about a month or so after Unity had that pay to install debacle. So I think it got a lot of devs from there. Since Godot is open source, you could take what that me stuff runs and stuff it into Unity, already doing it with the decomp and dolphin. Yeah, that's beyond my expertise. Sorry. So you're just making the games as they are. I'm telling you, just warts and all, like the Crash Bandicoot remakes, or are you probably adding your own spin? Yeah, I played Wii Golf a lot, and yeah, it does get a bit what's the word? Samey after the first few holes. I completely lost where I was. No wait, these get regenerated anyway, so we don't need these. It's just public void on run end, and then something like gp.print to do transfer any eligible things, items to the permanent inventory. Right, that's there. Also we need the drop tables from the biome, but that's not put in yet. So I'll probably do that. Biome. Yeah, dungeon biome. It's this roll chest loot thing. I'll probably put that to one side until NetHack. No. I'll probably have a look at how NetHack generates loot, and I'll probably just translate that from C to C# and be done with it. I mean, I do have some items, I believe. Hang on. Equipment. This. No, it's resources. Where are we? Yeah. So we do have some armor and some weapons implemented, but trying to organize them by power. That's going to be a bit complicated. So in that case, there needs to be a way that we store the item drop table as well, because we have a monster spawn table and we have a tile object spawn table. So it only makes sense that there'll be an item drop table as well. But then yeah, so we put that in there and so the enemies will drop stuff, but yeah, I have brain fog, unfortunately. Not much I can do about that. Hang on. I'm doing Twitch that there, and I want to move this to my OBS thing. Can I? No. Fine. Yeah, screw it. That's fine. Okay, so public item drop table. No, chest item drop. Chest item drop table. Or rather, no, the item drop tables would be for. No, they'd be the same if though you're getting them from a chest or from the enemies. So the item drop table will just be its own class. And then this thing here will just be the chest item drop table. We'll comment this out just for the time being. And if I can learn to actually hit the slash key more than once. So back to here. So we need a way of generating items for the generating items to be dropped. This here. Make another class. Item drop table. And this is also going to inherit from resource. So operation roll or roll, and then and it will give item or an array thereof. So it would have an association with these. However, we also need to make it R drops is drop eligible as well. So there should be an item drop table entry. I'm guessing item drop table item. See, this is the problem. By calling it an item, it clashes with the other things. And then if I put entry, well, that's going to make it so that it's screwy with the other thing. The spawn table items, because look, if I go to monster spawn table item, whereas this is called an entry, and because I'm on the bloody spectrum, it's it gives me the heebie-jeebies. This would have trees, item drop table entry. And there's entries. No, it's get eligible trees. This will be item drop table entry of that. So items item loop relative probability, that's a float. Then operation is eligible. Some other game states will be player party. So get eligible entries, and then we have to iterate over the item drop table as well. So if there's 35 of them, then that might be much, but we're not doing this every frame, so we can afford to do that. That's fine. Now, if this was an MMO running on a server, you might need to do something else, but it's not, so it won't. Yeah, something like that. Is eligible on there, and then this will just be a case of entries where eligible, where this is true. Okay, let's on here. So where are we? Scripts. Items, here we go. We'll just put drop table. Right. Spawn table has its item, so we can just item drop table create, and then this is going to be a resource. While I'm here, I'm just going to put a little arrow from there, just to make sure that this is a the drop table entries are also resources. So new script item drop table entry, as opposed to item drop table item, which is just sounds silly. Resource. Right. Export. Private. Item drop table entry. Entries. Then global class. Tool. Then public. Item drop table entry role. This is going to use the exact same thing as this spawn table. Now that we have 3 different kinds of spawn tables, I think I might make a superclass of them. Might. In which case, this monster spawn table is a resource. The tile object spawn table, that's where this also a resource. What if I move everything into their own superclass? Spawn table base. Be a resource as well. Then abstract. Then make another one as well. Gone up a bit too far. Spawn table entry base. Also a resource. Okie doke. I am coding by the seat of my pants right now, so I'm probably going to be stopping a while to think. Private small table entry base. Trees. Then the spawn table entry base would have a thing, but export private float probability, and this is also protected. Then public spawn table entry base. Role, and then I can do my thing there. Public abstract string accepted entry type get, no, just get, and this will just return the accepted entry type as a name using, I know Godot is very big on reflection, so I'll do that as well. Spawn table entry base role. And though I can do some, like, not the item drop tables because those haven't been put in yet, but the tile object spawn table, yeah, definitely. Private float total probability. Sure. And then also private spawn a table entry base eligible entries. Yet. Turn entries dot where x into x dot is eligible, and there's gotta be a way to, so the way a eligible would be we check the player's party or something. You can get the game state from the tree, so we'll need a node, right? Node. No, actually. Player party? Then if we're spawning stuff, we don't need the player party. We need the dungeon. The only way that these are going to be put in is inside the dungeon, so just put dungeon. Get tree. No. So if it is eligible, then it'd be a engine.get tree root. There is a way to get the root of the tree from there is a way to get the root of a tree from a static context. However, I wouldn't like to do that if possible. No, wait. Yes, we do want to do it, because if we do it, if we put the getting things here, then we'd do it for every one, but instead we'll need to get shit, where is it? It was in inventory base, maybe. Oh, there's a way to. It's this. Here we go. Scene tree root window. Bar root equals that. Now, here's eligible root. Okay, so entry base would be public abstract bool is eligible node tree node. .to array. Do we need to convert it to an array? I don't think we need to. IEnumerable means by definition we can iterate over it. So something like this. Non-generic type IEnumerable cannot be used with type arguments. What? Huh? System collections generic IEnumerable spawn table entry base. Non-generic type IEnumerable cannot be used with type arguments. Oh yeah, gotta use this. Put this using in. There we go. Okay. Also, private bool total probability set. This saves us from having to recalculate the total probability every time we try to access something. If total probability is set, then update probability. Yes. Private void update probability. Update total probability. Go back to our spawn table entry. No. It's this. relative probability, and then public float relative probability underscore relative probability. There we go. Responsive will be should be fine like that. This needs an update. Total probability, and then probability. That is how you spell probability, right? Probab. Oh no, I spelled it wrong in the first time. Probability. Oh, that's spelled wrong. Okay. The blah 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 blah. Oh. If we've recalculated that, then there's no way to get the if eligible. And then if we roll something that's ineligible, then roll again? Question mark? Entries is just items. Right, close that. Don't need that. Entry stop length and then onto there. GD random multiplied by the total probability and onto there. So yeah. If it's less than target, then if entries I dot is eligible, right, bar scene tree root equals that. If it's a total probability, then bool found equals false. Int attempts equals 0. Private const int still needs work. Hi. Yeah, I'm working on drop tables at the moment. Currently I've implemented 3 different kinds of drop tables. I'm just plonking them all into the same base class. Const int roll attempt limit equals 99. Good. All attempts equals 0, so while not found and our attempts are less than the limit, if it's eligible, then return entries I. And yeah, we didn't do it. Else break out of this for loop here. So if it's ineligible, we roll again. So at the end of this, it will be attempts plus plus. Is eligible scenery, else break. So we don't need this found boolean, because if we find one, we return anyway. So we can just do this. Then maxed out roll attempts. And entries ice. That returns a Bollinger Space. And frozen exception. Should it just return null? Nah. We'll well, if it returns null, it's going to chuck an exception out anyway, so might as well chuck it here. Diseligible entries, though, I don't know. So this will be probably roll naive, and then roll with eligible. But the thing is, if we do check for eligibility beforehand, we'll have to update this probability every time. The vast majority of cases, the drop will be eligible, unless if it's a quest item. So, yeah. Right. Now let's put everything into... Yeah, let's convert all of these into item drop tables. So this will be a spawn table base. And then the item drop table entry, which is here, is going to be a spawn table entry base. Dropped items equals new item of 0. Public dropped items, bush dropped items. It's fine. Oh yeah, this is an array. Then dot print if what game are you working on? I'm working on Dungeon Crawler, as you probably see. Yeah, I'm currently working on spawning the stuff that's actually in the dungeon. You know, your traps, the stairs, the treasure chests, in this case. Any of X into... Unfortunately, for an RPG, it's a very heavy on the programming. There's not a lot the engine could do for you. So there is... Yeah, I am spending quite a bit of time in here in coding. Key item. Then do the print statement. Is it on Steam then? No, it's currently not on Steam. It's currently in development, so not in early access or anything. I'm planning to get a playable build out by the summer. And by playable, I mean literally just that, bare bones. And yeah. And then if it's, you know, if we get enough feedback, might put it on early access. Else return true. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, they haven't been much dungeon crawlers released as of yet. I think there's Lunacid. The Etrian Odyssey remasters. And that's about it. I mean, there is the old school NetHack, what have you. But now this is more of an Etrian Odyssey than a old school roguelike. To do, check if key item is eligible to drop. Okay. So that's fine. Item drop table. Accepted entry type would just be item drop table tree. I just downloaded Godot and you're going to give it a go for the 20 game challenge thing. Yeah, it's first engines go. It's a very good choice. But yes, as you can probably tell, this is in Godot. I haven't heard of the 20 game challenge thing. So yeah, I'll have to write that down and Google it later. Have I already coded everything? Used to play Unity some, but I don't trust them. Yeah, I mean, I was using Unity and then I switched to Godot after that pay for download debacle. So yeah. Update probability, small table entry base, tile object, small table. Yes. So I think that's everything. Just this. Central table entry, and then it's going to need a way to verify it. So that would be in the base. So public void verify entry types. Actually, it should return a bool. It will be return entries. No. We'll iterate over them properly and throw an error for each one. Bar ret equals true, because we're looking for stuff that's wrong. And for each one in entries, if e.get type is equal to dot name is equal to accepted entry type. 20 games challenge.gitlab.io/challenge, that one. Okay, I'll have a quick look at it now. 10 games to get you started, a couple of blah blah blah. Pong or Flappy Bird, Breakout, Jetpack Joyride for something new, complicated. Space Invaders, Frogger, Asteroids, Blueballs, Identified, Pac-Man, Super Mario Bros. Pro Review. Oh, Super Monkey Fall, Mario Kart. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, so it's a that is actually quite interesting, I must say. Because yeah, you start off like from the late 70s, your Pong machines, and then go into the modern day. Well, I say modern day, but if you consider Minecraft modern day, it must be wolf. Decade old. Why am I old? But yeah, I mean, good luck to you. That is actually the way I've been doing stuff for the past year or so. It's the same way Matt Stone and Trey Parker, how they made films, you know, before they made South Park and made it big, but what they did when they were in college, uni, whatever, is everyone else made, like, you know, a whole big epic magnum opus once a semester. But what Stone and Parker did was that they made a shit film every month. And because they kept making shit films out every month, they made mistakes. And of course, they learned from them. And of course, those mistakes don't crawl into, you know, their grand design or what have you, because, you know, it's a throwaway film. So yeah, they make a lot of games. That's actually becoming a pretty popular method of getting started nowadays. Yeah. Accepted. Yeah, if you look on my itch page, it should show in the bottom left corner sometimes, you'll see a lot of web browser slop. Yeah, you see a lot of web browser stuff, making stuff for game jams, making stuff in the month, and this is probably the first game I've actually spent more than a month or two on. It's not the accepted range type, then rect equals false. ed.print item e.resource name in resource name is not of type accepted entry type bracket is instead e dot get type dot name. Kind of found out something kind of cool about Godot, where it was a open source way to port games from Godot to Nintendo. Yes. Yeah. Because Godot is open source and it doesn't have that much of a budget behind it, they can't work with the console manufacturers to make quote-unquote official export methods. So to get around it, because Godot is open source, they just some guy in his bedroom makes a plugin. Raw Labs, yes, that's what it's called. So yeah, there's export. I think there's export options. I only have the base ones for Godot. I mean, I'm making this one specifically for Windows, partly because you need to give Apple God knows how much to export. But yeah, for now, you have Android, iOS, Linux, macOS, web, and Windows Desktop. I'll probably just be making Windows Desktop, which coincidentally is also Steam. Probably make a Linux one as well, test it out on Steam Decks. But yeah, anything by Apple, iOS, macOS, you need a developer's license from Apple, and yeah, they really do nickel and dime you. Because Apple are in San Francisco or wherever, they charge you San Francisco prices, which is quite exorbitant if you've checked. Red equals false and yes, and then finally return. Manageable entries, role, update. But yeah, with consoles, you technically need to get an official, what they call a dev kit, which is sort of version that's offered to developers. Or yeah, it's offered to developers for God knows how much, or usually it's licensed by publishers, and you have to develop on that. I know Unity has its own thing, but Nintendo seems to have a program that have for indie devs to get kits. Yeah, they do. That's how stuff like Stardew Valley and quite other things, that's how those got Switch ports. Although I'm fairly sure Slay the Spire got a console port as well. But that's probably an engine thing. But anyway. No, Slay the Spire got ported to consoles because so many people bought it in early access that the Metacritic could afford a PlayStation dev kit. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, you had way back when you had the Xbox Live Arcade, and that was another way of indie devs to get their games out there. But that's no longer a thing, unfortunately. Don't know why they discontinued it. But yeah, Steam just came in and says, "Oh, right, yeah, we'll have that market share, if you don't mind." Right, where am I going? Relative probability is eligible. Yes. Tile object spawn table. Yes. So this is also going to be a spawn table base. And next is no longer a thing, nor is this. Next is going to be rolling on the depth level, so make it an overload. If the extras, and then this will be tile object spawn table item. Right. Then these can all go. However, this we can pull up. Replace Mafia with Menace code refactor and put. Shut up. Bloody Visual Studio. Doing its thing. Yeah, that's also. Now return roll. Oh, yes, of course. I don't like it, but it'll do for now. Tile object, where are you? Tile object. Tile object, spawn table item. Here we go. Relative probability and whatnot have been put in. Tile object type, object type. Get rid of that. Is eligible. No tree node. I'm just going to return true for now. Right, then the monster spawns. Where are you? Here. Right. This is a monster. Okay, so spawn table entry base. Yes. Total entity count will be blah 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 blah. All squads. Yes. That's fine. Just return true. Okay. Yes, that'll be fine. So instead of the monster spawn table, it's going to be returning this. So don't need these. Count spawn table, don't need that. That's been pulled up. Yes. So this can go on there. North spawn index. That can go as well. Entries. Can rip that out. Can rip this out as well. Next for depth level, probably roll on it and then scale. Cool. Yeah. Roll on it and then scale them. I actually might want to put the roll as a in the base class. This is okay, so monster spawn table item. And there's also a null monster spawn table item, which is right. So these need to actually be an array of strings. Contains this type name. That's fine. Rename this so it's a plural. Right. And then public abstract spawn table entry pace. No. Role int uint depth level. That's fine. On the hair, that's good. This is an array. Call this null. New string array. And curly brackets, not square ones. And now return role. And then when the monsters spawn, we'll probably scale their abilities up. Oh. This is fine. New string array. There we go. This will also return role. Oh, no, that's fine. It's given an error, but it hadn't. It just cleaned it up when I moused over, or rather after I moused over it, and it just showing. Okay, monster spawns fine, item drops fine, tile objects now. This. New string array. Oh. And this is a uint. That's that fixed. Everything else is looking good. Though whether they are good is another matter entirely. We build it. see what I've missed. Yep. Blah blah blah. Combat.set enemy party. Table interf. Ah, yes. Table dot roll. As monsters. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. The monster spawn table is monster spawn table item. Yes. New party status fresh 0. Yep. Tile object spawn tables are not going to. That's because we've called it roll now. Oh. Yeah, the unfortunate bit about this is you have to cast its output. What you could do, if Godot weren't silly, is if you do something like this. Or, no, wait, what am I doing? Spawn entry table base. Make this a generic. However, Godot won't let you. Or rather, yeah, it just must not contain generic arguments. And if you open up the documentation in... I open up my damn other browser so it actually shows... Must not contain, just assumes every global class is instantiable, but generic types cannot be instantiated because the type arguments are unbound, blah 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 blah. Change the type to remove the generic type parameters or remove global class. Do not suppress warnings, blah 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 blah. Yeah. If you want to create them actual resources, which we want to do, it has to be a global class, but if you have to be a global class, then it can't be a generic. So, yeah, unfortunately, we're stuck with having to cast them for each time we're plonking them in. This as well. That's C# then, or is that GD language? This is C#. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I was working on Unity before Godot, so I thought, yeah, might as well just use the language that I'm good at. Unfortunately, it means you can't export to the web. They're planning on fixing it, but for now it's either use Godot free or wait. Like I said, this is going to be for Windows anyway, so not much skin off my nose. However, this rolling small table entry, that's no, I don't want that. I think, hang on. Yeah. Click int roll index. Wait, why am I in the spawn table index and it gets at the spawn table? However, that saves us from having to have multiple resources put in. C# is a lot like Java syntax. Yes, it is. I actually do know a bit of Java. Did a bit of Runelight plugins, as well as Slay the Spire mods as well. That's Java. Index. So actually what we're going to do is cut this in like that, and then return
Just excited.
entries role index. Then this monster spawn table will need to override it. So not override it, implement this. Public spawn table entry base this int index and it's like that, right? No, it isn't. Oh, I'm being dumb. There we go. Yeah, it's a property, not a method. That's what I was talking about. Can't remember the last time we used Java. Like I said, it was Runelight or Slay the Spire, so this would have been about 4 years ago. And then before that, I haven't used it since uni. So yeah, I've probably forgotten everything. Like I said, yeah, the syntax is similar, but they've probably made some massive updates in the past 8 or so years. Of course. This needs to be casted. Right, now let's see what else I've missed. You move pretty fast modifying codes, that's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's more practice than anything. Yeah, I'm kind of averse to using the whole Control RR to just rename that, because it's not perfect. Well, it is perfect, but it's just too perfect, and you end up screwing up something else. That's what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, I mean, you gotta take a critical eye of your code, you know, every now and then. Just sort of like, oh hey, why am I doing this? Because if you save it all for the end, then you're gonna end up with like an extra month's work or so. Whereas if you catch it now, it's an easy fix. So it builds, but that's only half the story. Does it play? And I'm guessing it doesn't, because I changed everything to use a base class now, it's gonna, all the resources are gonna reset. Yes. And unfortunately, one of the bad things about Godot is that when the project gets big enough, it takes a while for the editor and by extension the debugger to catch up to the running instance. So you kind of have to wait until, yeah, you have to wait until this remote thing starts. They are supposed to spawn now, yes, but they haven't. Like I said, when you make changes, stuff's gonna break, and in a project this size, you can't memorize everything. So you can see here, null spawn index entries have been set to null because the enemy spawn table got reset. Yeah. So this debug biome, as you can see here, debug spawn table array. So yeah, we're gonna need to recreate everything, unfortunately. But it's better to create. It's better to reinitialize a dozen things now than it is to reinitialize like 200 things later, and when you've got the release date breathing down your neck. Use that to null. Change this to the monster spawn table item. The item drop table item is not shown in here. That's because I haven't set it to. What haven't I set it to as a global class? That's what I meant to put it. Right. So, where are you? Item drop table entry. Here we go. That's good. Right. Also, unfortunately, there's no strict type checking here. So if I put a tile object spawn table item, you can do it easily. And unfortunately, you might have to write your own custom inspector thing for adding the other thing. But for now, what I've done, probably seen, is if I can have a look at find out where I put the damn thing. The type checking. Yes, so this is the base class for all entries in a spawn table. However, let's say we have a tile object spawn table. Because it inherits from spawn table base, there we go. And the spawn table base has it accepts spawn table entry bases because it's a generic spawn table and you can't use generics in Godot, but I'm going off topic. So instead, item drop table, which inherits from it, you don't want an item drop table to be put in the monster spawn table, if that makes sense. So, as a sort of a middle solution, what we have is this verify entry types, and you call this and it says, okay, if everything in entries is get its type name, and then if it's in the accepted entry types, fair dues, but if it's not, then just print, hey, you may want to go fix this, and then it returns false. Like I said, it's not the ideal solution. The ideal solution would be to use generics, but unfortunately, that's a limitation of Godot. So the null monster spawn table again. Yeah, quick and dirty. I'm going to default this to 1 instead of 0. Right, null monster spawn table item will probably have as 2. Quick load. Taco. Oh, these have been bloody rejigged as well. I keep meaning to redo this, but keep forgetting for some reason. Hang on, show that in the file system. Yeah, I'm gonna need to redo this. So enemy squad size is 4, so there's only one in the front line. New, it's not new enemy. What? Why is it default to empty? Okay, monster spawn table item, where are we? That should not be happening. Virtual enemy data, enemy front row. The monster spawn table item is there. However, the Taco Zero, that's a monster spawn table item. Yes. It's virtual. Let's get set. Get protected set. Yes. Get protected set. So why is it defaulting back to nothing? Yeah, exporting properties in Godot is a bit fiddly at the best of times. I don't know. Honestly, this actually might be the best opportunity to actually implement level scaling rather than hard coding levels and sizes in. So something like what's supposed to happen? Hang on. So when I add a resource, so this enemy front row, as you can see here, takes enemy data. Enemy data is a resource, which is basically stuff like texture 2Ds, your audio files, they're all resources. So try and quick load this resource here from, here you go, Takodachi. Now what's supposed to happen is that this is supposed to stay, but as you can, if you're paying attention, it clicks and then it goes back to empty. And I'm not entirely sure why that's happening. It might be because there's a problem with this. It's not in this class because this is the null monster spawn table item, which is, you know, it says it's null, no monster, all weird. Yeah, it is weird, but you know, open source engine, you kind of have to expect these things. You know, you are taking code from volunteers after all, who have various levels of expertise, shall we say. But yeah, I mean, as things go, it's very minor. You know, and like I said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. If one way doesn't work, then you can just do it another way. If I set it as a field, it's... Oh. Now that really shouldn't be happening. Oh, yeah. I think Also, Godot does have a Discord that you can ask questions in, although whether you'll get a satisfactory answer or not is rather mixed. There's also because it's open source, there's a lot of issue logs on their GitHub as well that you can take a look at. Okay, just trying to think what could be causing this to reset. If I made it not a tool, because I don't know. Where is this being put in? Because this is not being accessed outside of it. Or is it? Front row, enemy front row dot length, enemy equals front row cap row. Yeah. It's not being set, so there's something probably in Godot or some sort of cached value that it's defaulting to. Which doesn't make sense because... If I took the tool tag off it, what would happen? Unless... Wait a minute. I think I have an idea what it might be. Although... What if you put in print statements to see where the code was going to? You could. Yeah, have it push an error. But the thing is, you're running in tool mode, so whether it'll print or not is that. Here we go. Here's our problem. Yeah, I was on this tab and I should have been looking here. Got a resource to type enemy data. I haven't touched enemy data. What the hell's going on? Oh, okay, it stays, but I'm still getting this. It just fixed itself. The fuck? Pardon my French, but that was just weird. It just fixed itself, apparently. No, I have not touched this class since I wrote it several months ago. So why? I don't know why it was trying to. Yeah, like I said, Godot is weird. We'll say, yeah, quirky. Quirky's the word. Right. Definitely. Yeah, usually what this means is because it can't find the type enemy data in the global class list, and you add stuff in C# at least. You add stuff for the global class list by putting this attributes here, and for what this usually means is that you haven't put the global class in there. But like I said, I haven't touched enemy data, so it couldn't have been that. But oh well. Fixed itself. So for now, we'll have it as level 5 and a squad size of 4. Just for the time being. And then we go back to our default debug biome. That's fine. So we have 2 or 1, and then we can just get rid of this. The tile object spawns as well. Type nothing, relative probability will be 100. And then also treasure chests. Use a tile object spawn table item. Treasure chest 2. And the spawns can go. Right. Let's see if this works. Because obviously the stairs are put in manually because you don't want it so that zero things can spawn or more than one set of stairs can spawn, because then you have to put in branching paths and whatnot. And then, of course, yeah, there's also every chance that the thing's not going to work. Also, the enemy behaviors are attacking, and I usually set them to laser about, but that's not the case. Okay, I'm just... If we go down, it's... Oh. There should be a scene... There should be a transition where the things go, but it just loads the new one accordingly. Now, I'm gonna wait until... Yep! Treasure chest. That's spawned. That's spawned very well. Obviously, the lighting's a bit crap, but... yeah, I might look into that later. I'm not entirely sure how you do lighting in a dungeon anyway, because it's supposed to be indoors. Yeah, you can see it here. And then when you go onto the same space as it, it'll show you a prompt saying open, check for traps. But that hasn't been implemented yet. But yeah, they spawn, and that's good enough for me for now. Battles. So yeah, this battle seems to be the new one. Ah yes. Hide that debug because it's getting on my nerves. I can see maybe torches. Yeah, that is a shout. Let's see what the debugger has. Calculate damage for the... Ah, yes. No? Calculate damage modifier apply to... I haven't even touched these. What the hell? I haven't touched them, but that also means I probably haven't updated the enemy's attack to be the new one. I think. The bloody... Here they are. Ah, yes. Damage modifier applied to is null. This is the damage modifier. Damage calculator. Why would that be null? Base damage 5. And yeah. 0.2, 1.2. That's between 5 and 6. Yeah. Although placing the torches, that's... No, placing the torches will be simple because I've got... This is the dungeon tile. Yeah. So the way the dungeon tile works is that it has a floor and all that. And these walls are set to invisible if they're not needed. So in which case, it will just be a case of spawn... In addition to tile objects, you know, the interactables spawn decorations as well that give off light. Yeah, that is a shout. And then you can also have a base wall texture like such. And then yeah, you can add like stuff like tapestries or what have you. And that, so the way that the dungeon is generated so far is that it uses this thing called a biome. It's exactly like how it works in Minecraft. We have a list of textures that you can use for the floor. Now, for some reason this doesn't work, but this is how it should work. And then for the walls, you can have either a door tile, which means you can pass through it, a rail tile, which means you can see over it, but not pass through it. This helps with mapping. And then wall tiles are self-explanatory, and it should take a random one from each one, but that's either broken or not implemented in the first place. Yeah. And then the way that treasure chests work is basically when the dungeon's being generated, and then it says, okay, generate tile objects. And then once the actual tile itself rolls, say a treasure chest, if I can find its scene, which is here? No, here. It literally just adds it as a child. Yeah, like that. Literally just adds it as a child and then has its own thing. And within the tile class, random doesn't work well then, the random functional method driver. Yeah, it's probably the way of selecting it. It might just be that I'm just taking the first one in the array to start with and without, rolling a random one because for some reason I completely forgot. But yeah, Dungeon Tile has a Dungeon Tile object, the whole thing that spawned from this whole spawn table. Yeah, and then if you set it, if there's already one there, get rid of it, add it as a child, and set it like that. And then this Dungeon Tile object here, there's a way to interact with. Now this interact with is a bit of a misnomer because interact with is actually, if I brought up the UML, that might explain it better. Yeah, right. So the treasure chests are dungeon tile objects which belong to these dungeon tiles, which is what I just showed you. This is an abstract class. Don't move that. This is an abstract class for a dungeon tile object. It means interact with the party. You can also get a map icon that shows on the minimap for stairs, and is permanent means, can we get rid of it? So there's two types of tile objects. There's the traps, which interact with you whenever you move onto their space. Pit trap deals damage. Teleport trap teleports you to a random spot in the dungeon. Dart trap inflicts poison. Detect and disarm difficulty. Non-combat skills, attributes, whatever you want to call them. Those haven't been implemented yet, but we'll probably do traps after we've done the treasure chest to make sure that we can get stuff out of them. Then we've got interactables. We've got the stairs, which is self-explanatory. Shrines, which are just stuff you can interact with, like you pray to it and you get one of your dudes resurrected or something like that. And then treasure chests, which is what we've been doing this whole time. But yeah, the small table, and yeah, and then I got sidetracked by redoing the whole spawn table system, and I think finally we can get back on track now with the treasure chest. Giving stuff. Yes. So where are we? Treasure chest, the script. Where are you? Here. Lock difficulty treasure. So interact with. Yeah. Gets the current floor and then rolls chest loot based on depth level and adds the items. However, this. No, the interact strings is what I want to show. So currently the interact strings are shown from the dungeon by itself, which means that it's in here. Yeah, here. So I'm going to have to So if it's the dungeon interactable, time interactable, if it's the stairs, then action must show right. I need to replace this with a basic line. So bar interact options equals tile interactable dot get action interact strings. There we go. Then iterate over them. Oh, yes, I know what's wrong. So currently, the way of interacting everything is these things here. And they do, currently they're hard-coded to do separate things. Signed right, not equal. Yes, that's what I meant to say. I just say equals because it's an equal sign, and I know I shouldn't be doing it, but yeah, it's just a habit. So I'm gonna need to rejig this class here to take basic interactions. So this we'll get rid of. Then total button count on that. Okay, so we have 5 buttons here. Right. So I rename their text to button 0, button 1, and what have you. I was making sure because that means really something different with an loop. Yeah, it's happened to me a couple times. Although in modern times, modern day, you can just get usually it just gives a compiler error, or at least a warning saying, "Are you sure you meant this?" Yeah. But nah, that's more of a C thing. Yes, we don't want it to descend level whenever we take the first one. So this dungeon action button is instead going to have a signal. Public delegate void. Action button rest event handler int button index. Right, this I don't think we'll need. Total button count actually. And why we have that. So input event, this needs to be completely rejigged. Does it? No, it doesn't. You can actually get rid of it. Show buttons is instead going to take string action names. Button get button. Not entirely sure what this is in aid of, but we'll get rid of it. So show buttons for them as total button counts. Actually, we can get rid of this. Private const string action button scene UID equals UID con//0 or invalid. Because we haven't made it yet. Actually, I think we can just probably... How come you don't use any comments? It's going to just remember doing some names. Ah, yes. So this is something that I learned from an old boss of mine, but the what was I saying? The method names, these, and the variable names or what have you, those are supposed to be determining, they're supposed to show what is going on. The comments explain why something's happening. So you can see here, this is blank. And why is it blank? Because we're doing nothing. Let's see if we've got anything else that isn't a comment out. But yeah, if you write code that's, you know, in a self-explanatory manner, you won't need to comment. Of course, there are different schools of thought with it. Yeah, you can see here. Else, items path equals byte new count. We want to remove an item, but you know, future me is going to come in and says, wait, why aren't we checking for this to be greater than 0? Because we're getting stuff by index. Well, we've already checked for it being greater than 0 above. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, comment overload is a thing. I mean, I'll be the first to admit that there are some times where I should be commenting stuff, but yeah, general rule of thumb is names, variable names, method names, class names, whatever, explain what's happening, comments explain why it's happening if it's not, you know, self-evident. Yeah. I mean, it served me, but then again, you know, I'm a solo dev. It might be that someone else takes a look at my code and they're like, what the hell's going on? So, where exactly was... Oh, yes, the action buttons. So... private... button... all buttons... This will be get... children... dot where x into x is button dot to array. Oh yes, of course. So we can get rid of this rather. No, we'll keep it. Doing the game design finish up degree for comp sci with a major in data science. Yeah, I mean, good luck with it. I mean, back when I was at uni, data science, I mean, it was an emerging thing. So yeah, there was a module in AI, but that was more machine learning. So, data science, well, yeah, it was emerging, but the uni I went to, they had a big data science lab. And, yeah. Because in Britain, we don't really have majors and minors. You have a subject and that's it. But, yeah. I mean, but then it was mostly machine learning, ant colony optimization, firefly optimization, that sort of thing. And yeah, I actually wrote a paper, got it published and all, about how a reinforcement learning system can balance multiple goals, multiple objectives, especially if they're in conflict. But yeah, for personal reasons, I didn't really follow up on that PhD. Okay, show buttons, actions, names, yes. Oh nice, went game design direction instead. Yeah, I mean, I might actually go down game dev actually, because yeah, the job market's completely shit with regards to AI and all that. Thing is, in Britain, all the tech firms are pretty... their entire strategy is copy Silicon Valley. And of course, Silicon Valley are firing everybody because, you know, they've got a downturn. And so, yeah, tech sector in Britain is pretty much monkey see, monkey do. So they're firing everybody and not hiring much, so I might have to either hope one of these things hits it big or go into game design myself. Oh well. Why copy California? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you know the suits these days, they're very cargo culty and quite behind on the times. So it's probably only just filtering to them now that California's going tits up. What was I doing? Oh yes. If our initial button count is less than I, then create a new one. Yes. So add child new button. Actually, no, I'm going to make that its own method. And then button.text equals action names I. Then we generate this method. What's the theme on this button? Hang on. Dungeon action button dot trace. Are there any overrides? No overrides. That's good. Right, so in which case private theme button theme, and then we just put it here. I think that's it. A bit extra to be having the its own method, but whatever. Oh yes, of course. You also need to set them visible. Button is not the array, it's the thing. Okay, so we're going to the action names, but then if we have no more, so then of course. So in which case this needs to be taken out of this needs to be taken out. Change this to a while loop. And then while I is less than initial button count. So this would only go into once we've added all of our buttons and there's still some left over, so we need to hide these. Actually, no, I don't need to. Get child. Yeah. Ah. Hide them. Okay. And then override ready. Then it would be reach bar button in all buttons. No, we do need to. No, we do need a for loop. If only C# had something like Python's enumerate function, but oh well. It's probably been added in an update that I just haven't seen yet. No, it's not this. It's all buttons dot length. But then we'd be doing this for each loop. Nah. Better. Signal name, action button pressed, I as a no, this isn't going to work because what if we press this? What happens is it gives the value of I as it is. So, and it's always going to be the it's always going to be the value of this -1. So this won't work. However, if we introduce a it to its own variable, then it magically will work. Yeah, it's one of those quirks of C#. Right. Oh yeah, and then here we Oh, didn't know that. I wonder if that's the same for Java then. I'm not sure. It might be. Oh yeah, of course. No, let's not be lazy. Sure. Right. Then, oh, before I forget, helps with debugging. Okay. So if we build it like so. Oh. Oh yeah, of course, because I ripped out the whole thing. Right. If it's an interactable, then interact object attachment strings, and then get node of this. So this should be within the if statement. Show buttons act to show dot array. No, it would just be interact options. In which case, I could just chuck this right in. And yep. Else. Hang on. Might go back to that. If you're adjacent to a trapped space and facing it, it might give you the also give you the option to try and disarm that trap, but we'll leave it as is for now. It's just a case of adding an or statement to okay. So then I've only put in the interact options for the stairs so far, I think. Nice. Yeah, that's fine. Ascend, descend, yep. Spawn child and interact with, yes. So we need to hook up the action buttons. In the thing, so this, let me just. Right. Oh yeah, because the old class would have, yeah, it hard coded the ascend descend into there. So in which case, we will ready. Private. Dungeon interactable. Another way you avoid comments is, yeah, interactable at party location. Instead of just, if I just put interactable, that doesn't make sense. But if you put it like that, it's something, because yeah, it's not the 80s anymore. You can have long method name, long variable names without much problem. So. Also, my brain is beginning to wear thin, so I'll probably go for about another half hour, if you'll have me. Pressed? No. Action mode pressed, that was it. Plus equals. Take a break and get stuff getting food? Maybe. I mean, it's coming up to, what, tea time around here, so... yeah, maybe. I mean, I have been going all morning as well, off stream, so... yeah, more than your bog standard 9 to 5, I suppose. Yeah, but put it below input. So the stuff that's within Godot is not done. So I think we'll, yeah, if we're clicking on action buttons without there being an interactable, we know that there's something wrong, so we'll just rather take the error. Dot interact with the player party, which is, we have this exploration party. Does this have a reference to the... no, it doesn't. I'm gonna have to get it from combat then. Shit, where did I go? Here. Combat dot instance dot party. That's an index. Right. See if this builds. No, it doesn't. Well, it does, but we don't know yet. It's still going. Yeah, it is thinking. I mean, like I said, the project is getting quite big, so, and it is unfortunately still on a HDD. If I move this to the solid state drive, it might work a bit quicker. Okay, looks good. Okay. So we want to hide, well, not hide all these, but this one, we need to, oh, right. I have set custom minimum sizes. Let's set them all to 150. That should be all right. So all of these, layout, custom minimum size 150. I rename them because just so I don't get confused later. I mean, five interact buttons is probably going to be overkill. I mean, there's what? Examine, interact, check for traps, use. Well, that'll come under interact, but yeah. I think 5 will be more than enough, so we don't need to create any more. But just in case I get this magical idea to interact with someone in 10 different times, it'll be ready. Let's see what goes on now. Oh. You know what you said about the infinite loop? You might actually have been right. Except I just completely forgot where the hell it was. Yeah, usually if the Godot entry screen shows for that period of time and you can still interact with the editor, that's generally a sign you've hit an infinite loop. So where the hell would it have been? It was here, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Was it? Fortunately, what you can do is... I don't think that was the case. It was a conditional statement you did that on. Yeah. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, if you use the wrong amount of equal signs for a conditional, then that usually ends up in a compiler error. Okay, and pause. We're here. Right, so it is something in here. Whilst I is less than the initial button count, then get shot. I told you my brain was going. Honestly. It's not something tries to catch up, not to distinction when I make conditionals. Ah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Just forgot that I++ at the end. Just need a break, maybe. Yeah, you might be right. I'll keep going till the hour, and then I think the worst of it's over. So yeah. Yep. There we go. So yeah, the actual rolling hasn't been implemented yet. Check for traps, that hasn't done it. So if we click ascend, oh. Stepping away, incoming lapses, a fresh look. Yep, that's correct. Sleeping on it helps as well, but I suppose that's stepping away back to its logical conclusion. We click there, yeah, we're getting stuff in the debugger. On button action press, object reference. What? But then the interactable. Oh. Oh, yes, I know what I've done. This. Interactable at party location equals tile interactable. But yeah, throwing errors is a good thing. Because if you make it fail silently or fail gracefully, a lot of the time you just have no idea what's going on. But you know, if you make it fail as loud as possible, you can catch it easier. And there we go. Yeah, you can ascend properly. Let me just check if the descend works as advertised. There's nothing to suggest that it shouldn't, but yeah. Okay, that's good. We go back up, and yeah, we're in the same spot. So why would the... No, wait, what's going on? There's still some stuff here. Cannot access a disposed object. Wait, what? Why would this be disposed? What the... Object name, player party UI, draggable. On combat start for each display in displays, display theme type variation equals that. Is the player going to get to see the map? Yes. Yes, but at the current moment, it's just filled out for debugging purposes. In the final release, it'll be... In the final release, it'll be hidden until you explore it. I mean, it'll map out automatically, so you don't have to draw it yourself like in Etrian Odyssey. But yeah, discoverable. You mean? Yes, that's what I mean. And you can see these spaces as well. They're a bit in a lighter color. That's the party's vision. So what's causing this? Okay, that's fine, but... Wait, what? Oh yeah, there's a bug with the party lights, doesn't... Wait, why would it be disposed and then... Ah, I think I know what's going on. Script signals generated, yes. Go on back on here. The party position changes update the entity displays, however, this has been... So this is in dungeon, which means that this is the party UI in the battle scene. It is in the battle scene and not the explanation. Yes, it is. Battle scene. So what's happening is that when we're going back into the staging area, all of this gets disposed. However, what we haven't done is handle the disposing a bit gracefully. Yeah. So something like override exit tree, and then I thought it would get rid of all it. I thought it would get rid of all its stuff automatically, but I think I may have read that wrong or something. Oh no, it's the other way around. So this dungeon, when this gets disposed, then all of these... Well, no, because the player party and the other things get disposed as well. However, the combat's still there, so... If the combat ends whilst we're still in the party, then that would have been... Yeah, so... I do need to do this. I think... Radio. There is, of course, the problem of why when we're going downwards, why that wipe transition isn't playing. So yeah, it should like wipe up and then spawn you back in, but that's not what's happened. I think it's because it's probably... So yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. It's supposed to do it and then fade in the new one, but for some reason that's not happening. However, we do have stuff in the... No. Oh, it's this past config file crap. I've been to this exact same file line and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. So yeah, expected was that a colon? Expected a semicolon. The semicolon's there, but apparently the thing just doesn't want to have a look at it for some reason. So if we go back into the depths and now... Oh. We're still getting... Well, we can move our stuff now, but we've got something else now. What the f... But it's probably something else as well. On combat start, yeah. So... Oh, yes, of course. Yes, of course. Yeah, it's just another couple things I missed. There we go. Godot version quirky 2.0. I honestly think it's probably something to do with me because it did work last time, but because we've redone these dungeon stairs, it's this that's the problem. Save current minimap on depth change. Scene transitions. Oh, apparently I didn't. Apparently, yeah, I haven't implemented it in the first place. Yeah, I thought I had, but I haven't. So, yeah, this is when you're transitioning scenes, but because we're changing depth, we're not changing scenes. So, I think we may need to. This is an auto load, yes. So instead of transitioning to files, we just wipe in and then wipe out once it's loaded. I think. Yeah. So ascend level will be on there, then on depth change, we... Right. So scene transitions dot wipe in. Wait, if you transition hard, do you wipe in and then out or out and in? Wipe in. Yes. And then fade out. except when we're going in, this on depth change it's called instead. So I think just so that this thing doesn't happen twice, we'll put it here. I know I am duplicating code, but don't think it's avoidable. And the same when we're descending levels. Yeah, scene transitions is just a fancy way of saying loading screen. But of course, for some reason everything loads pretty quickly. I don't know if it's my PC or what, but yeah. Oh. The hell? Still like that. Oh. Don't really map on depth change. Then seems to fade out there. However, on depth change is called here. However, this is blocking the thread. Yeah, this is blocking the thread, so the transition should be async instead of the other thing, right? Get treated. New animation is loading spin, then do that. No, that's when we change the animations, which is this. Wipes in, then cues the loading spin, and then this animation change is the check. Cue reset. Ah, I think I know what's going on. This is getting reloaded because the animation changes for some reason. So, it's skipping the wipeout. Yes, exactly. So I'm just trying to think how I'm going to go about this, because if it has loaded onto here and then when it does load, it's currently, so this is when it's on the loading screen, and then this loads. So yeah, I think for some reason it's but if it was loading the same thing twice, then the same thing wouldn't work. Well, that's right. Transition to file sync and then wiping. Okay. And then if change the file fade out. I did this. So it sets itself to null once we've done it, so therefore this conditional won't be met. I think we're loading the same scene twice, but I'm not entirely sure. It's just a guess. No, it's still the same thing. So the on-depth change, and then this is all being set in. Yeah. I don't think we need this. We generate it. Like movement graph. Generates all the things on part 2 players by start and it's on that. But this should be happening on a different thread. Will that mess something up if you have it so it's all? No. Basically, when the thing loads, the thing that we were loading, that's still set. Once we've loaded it, we don't want to load it again, if that makes sense. I think it might be. No, I'm calling this normally, so it doesn't. It instead happens on the main thread rather than being something. Although, no, because this await would be on there. So this would have to be on a separate thread. Right? No, we're calling it from this thread, so it would be on the same thing, yeah. Then the... Yes, okay, makes sense. This is the animation change. So why is it working when we do change scenes but not when we don't? Because you'd think it would be the other way around. Oh well. It's a visual bug, if anything, so... Probably put it as technical debt, I suppose. Yeah, I did say I'd be going for another half hour, and I do. I need to feed not only myself but the cat as well. I might pop on later, play some Final Fantasy 14. But yeah, that's kind of an if. Depends on how rejuvenated I am. But yeah, I mean, I'm just going to cut the stream now. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully see you soon. Yeah, and you take care.